Hello everyone, this is Ask John. In this video, I want to comment on this article. Moody's cuts China's credit outlook to negative. So what does it mean? So I want to give you my 2 cents on it. Okay. So the rating agency sets increasing risks to growth and property sector crisis. Okay. So rating agency Moody's investor service cut its outlook on China's sovereign credit rating to negative on Tuesday, citing growing risks of persistently lower midterm economic growth and the overhang from a crisis in the property sector. So this happened on Tuesday. After that, Moody's also cut the outlook on Hong Kong credit and also on a few Chinese state-owned banks. So the reason here, he said, is that the lower midterm economic growth and the overhang from a crisis in the property sector. I think as the Chinese who grew up here and see all this happening, I think Moody is right on this. So it's been all over the news that China's economy is not doing well this year, and also earlier, during the pandemic, and also especially now there is a crisis in the property sector. So when in my from what I see in most cities, the current property or apartment price has decreased a third from their peaks, and in some extreme examples, in some extreme areas, the property prices has been down like 50%, like halved. Now, the down payment for China is at 30%. So this means like over 3 years, over 4 years, 4 or 5 years, the value has not increased, but instead they have lost their down payment. Now they have to pay mortgage every month. And remember, China has a very high mortgage rate, right? And so even the down payment, a lot of people the down payment they also borrow money just to have the down payment, maybe from the family, from the relatives, or maybe from some banks, institutions, or online. So how this is very serious. If they lost the down payment, and they still have to pay monthly, which will account a large chunk of the income. You know this and this is not the ending. Maybe it will last for how many years, we don't know. Japan has lost a decade, or lost 3 decades, 30 years. We don't know how long this time China's depression will last. So you don't have to, the sluggishness, the depression, the economic depression is everywhere. The other day I read an article like the restaurants, the bankruptcy rate is very high in Shanghai. There isn't a lot of foreigners now. It used to have a lot. You know, you see the exodus of foreigners. Last time I did a video China is trying to attract the foreign tourists, and I have a lot of views, almost 1,000 views. Some people, I read their comments. They say, "Oh, we don't want to go to China. It's dangerous." And maybe his opinion is can represent a lot. that video. I have almost 1,000 views. It's one of the highest viewed videos. It's because I think it's because it's recommended by YouTube. You will see it. For some people, they will see it on the homepage of YouTube. And if you compare this news with another news I read on New York Times, uh, that the article talked about many Chinese, a lot of Chinese now, they are trying to get to America illegally just by flying to maybe Mexico and walk through a very dangerous area to get to the border of the Mexico, okay, border of the Mexico with America and cross it and then apply for asylum visa. Many Chinese people are doing this because because now the information, you can get the information everywhere, so they know how to cross these jungles to get there. And you compare with this news with the reluctance of foreigners coming to China. The comparison is quite stark. Why they are leaving? Why the rich are leaving? Why the poor are leaving? And also the foreign capital are leaving? It's because it's they don't see a very good future for them. It's very hard to make money. Like for example, um, like Didi drivers or Uber drivers in China, many cannot make 100 yuan a day. So like a lot of jobs, these people, they used to make maybe 200 yuan, now it's 100 yuan. They used to make 300 yuan, now it's 200 yuan. Some people, they used to make 100 yuan a day, and now they cannot make, they can only make less than 100 yuan. So like, so the second thing I want to talk about is like Uber driver or Didi driver. So it also reflects how bad the economy is. One thing is that I used to drive Didi driver. I'm still driving it now, part time. Maybe last year the rate is 2 yuan per kilometer. Now this year, most of the time it's 1.7 yuan, 1.8 yuan per hour. After 11 p.m., it used to be more than 2 yuan per hour. But now, yesterday I also drove at very late. The rate is about 2 yuan an hour. So that is why I choose. And also, Chinese drivers, they drive long hours. I'm talking about the 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours. Why? Is that if they don't drive long enough, they don't make enough money just to cover the expenses. Speaking of our expenses, it is quite a lot. If I told this, in my previous videos, I did this. I drove people only only in the evening, because at the daytime I have other jobs. Maybe I'm doing the teaching, the one-on-one teaching. I also work for a wooden products manufacturer doing the international sales, also part-time job, 3 days a week. But so to be legal driving Didi in China, you have to have 2 licenses. I have one. One is that you have to take a test and pass that. I already had that one. But the other one, the car has to be for commercial use, and the insurance will be very high. Insurance is like 1,000 yuan a month, and the car has to be electric. Or you can rent a car, but you have to pay like 3,500 yuan a month. So if you want to be legally doing that, the cost will be very high, and also you have to do it a long time a day. I'm talking about 13 hours, 14 hours. So that is why I choose not to rent or buy a legally allowed car. So this, but if you don't do it legally, you may get caught. So I got caught 3 times, but I wasn't fined. I can show you like this picture. This is not me. This is another guy who is also caught. This is the transportation authority. They are not a police. They are not a traffic police. It's another government department. Transportation. This is the recent time I was caught. You know, um. So I was in a busy shopping area. So I got the Didi request. So I went to the place. So when the passengers, 3 of them, just got on the car, so one of these guys got in and took my key, and took me to this place. I also this is in the parking lot where they towed my car to. It's late. It's almost 10 p.m. So they are doing this, because the local government, they also suffer from financial issues. They have to have the money to pay their wages, and part of the money is from the fines, like from me. So this is after a few days, after maybe 1 or 2 weeks, I went to their office. At that time, my car had been, pounded in their area, for 2 weeks. So I was arguing with them because when these passengers they got on the car, I canceled the order. So technically, they don't have the proof. The order, there is no order, there is no money. How can you fine me over that? So eventually they didn't fine me because I know my rights. I said to them, if you fine me, which is like 5,000 or 3,000 yuan, I said to them, if you fine me, I would request a hearing, or I will go to the court. So they know their case cannot stand in the court, so they let me go. But it took me 2 weeks. I can't drive for 2 weeks. This is the third time, and this is the first time. The first time is like I paid the fine. It was about 1,000 yuan. Sorry, 10,000 yuan. So this is the paperwork they want me to write this down. And I paid them. But after that, I go to the some government department to state my case and ask for a hearing. And this transportation authority, they call me and they gave me my money back, and so that they asked me to cancel my plea, cancel my application. So this is the first time. The first time, because they don't have the passenger, I was just parking there. So they got into the car and checked my phone. They saw me driving, but I didn't give them my phone. I showed them an order, but it's not the time is not right. So they cannot match the time. So that is why I won at that time. The second time is that I drove some passengers to the Shangqiu, a neighboring city. I use the pool service, which allows me can to pick two groups of passengers, and this is allowed because it's cheaper than the real-time taxi or car hailing service. This is allowed. So when I got there, they took my phone by force and they checked my phone, but it's in a different city. They don't have authority there. I was using the pull service, which is allowed. So, after going back, after about 2 hours, they finally let me go. So, these 3 times they didn't. None of the times they find me. Okay, and I want to say that it's not suitable for me to do it legally because, like I said, you have to pay the rent, you have to pay the electric fee, and also nowadays because of the jobs that people cannot find jobs, there are a lot of people doing this. It's very competitive. So in order to make a profit of it, you have to drive more than 12 hours a day. I don't want to do that. I want to maybe like drive 4 or 5 hours after work. So that is why I chose not to do it full time. And I just googled, in the West, a lot of people also drove long hours, maybe 10 hours, 11 hours, and also the rate from Uber and Lyft is also decreasing. But here in China, the situation is worse than that. Okay, a lot of people they drive like 12 hours. Okay, 12 to 15 hours. But I wouldn't do that because it's not as it's dangerous. It's dangerous. From time to time, I came across articles or short videos where a Didi driver suddenly died in the car because they drove long hours. So that is what I have to say for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will do my Didi driver after I upload this video. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.